is May 21st, 2020. And in terms of the call to order, Kate, you've got that for the roll call.
Yep.
And in terms of the minutes, I'd like a motion to accept the minutes.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Yeah.
Modifications?
There's one spelling error,
Okay.
under old business, fourth line down at the very end, arborvitae for the screen plantings.
Missing an N. Oh, you're good.
I had a couple of, can you hear me okay?
Bob.
Good. On the same paragraph, the second to the last sentence, I'm sorry, in the middle of that paragraph, it talks about we'll have a 6 to 8 inch concrete foundation. Is that meaning I'm confused by that. Certainly the stair needs a deeper foundation. Was that the slab landing or what was that?
That was a slab landing. He said the slab was going to be 6 to 8 inches.
All right. That can be not a foundation, then change to slab,
Okay.
or sidewalk, whichever you wish. And then the very last part, the second to the last sentence, Bob Haley recommended the application to avoid tripping hazard, that the stone treads should not exceed over the brick riser. And I think the only thing we're trying to say that I was going to add PERC ADA code.
Okay.
And let me just take one look.
Anything else?
I think that's fine. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Hearing none, all in favor of accepting the minutes as submitted and amended?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. Thank you. Old business. There is no old business. New business, CA-20-10, 226 Brattle Road, garage painting. Is that applicant on the phone or on the meeting?
Sylvia, are you here? I think Sylvia is here. Hold on. She's muted. Oh, no, I think Sylvia? There. Sylvia.
You can hear voice, light voice there.
Very quick.
We've got the C of A in our packets and Kate's got it up. And this has also been amended and Kate sent us an amendment for some steps.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
That's correct. So Sylvia, if it's okay, I'll just walk the board through. The first part of the application that you received originally was for repainting the garage, and my understanding is that it is they are going to repaint it white, but the garage door will be painted, the same color as the trim of the house.
House, right.
Yep.
That's a dark green. Okay.
And it's yeah.
And did everybody receive the amended portion regarding the rear steps on the house?
Yes.
Yep.
Are there any comments?
So these are the existing stairs, as you can see. Modern, not very attractive. And this is the proposed design. This was their basically the look that they're going for. And then they also provided the some of the details here about the foundation and so forth. So
Seems to be a very good solution.
Okay, if there's no other comments, I'm looking for a motion to accept the C of A.
I'll make
A motion? Sorry.
Any second? Who's second?
Second.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Pardon?
oh, that's right. Yep.
Cynthia's abstained.
Oh, okay, I understand. Motion carries. Thank you very much. Okay, moving on. CA-20-11, 120 Dorset Road, radon mitigation system. Is that applicant joining us today?
Yes, good morning. I'm on the phone.
Okay, great. Good morning. Okay, so we see by the pictures where you want to put your radon exhaust pipe. Any comments from board members?
Yes,
This is the house. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, and if there's a particular photograph you want me to get to, just let me.
You got them. Those are the two good photographs. They're very helpful.
Yeah.
I would just make a recommendation only, or a consideration for the applicant, that the primary features of the house are the window and the window trim. It's a beautiful stucco house with very nice forms and simple window trims that are articulated with brackets and so on. The downpipes typically are done white by installers, not necessarily by for the original house. I would suggest for your consideration that you paint both the new vent pipe and the existing downspout that you referred to in your application the same color as the body of the house up to the trim line of the cornice, and that can remain white as it is on your downspout. All that does, or what that does primarily, is it dyes or it makes those two features disappear into the body of the house so that you again refocus on the trim. Is that at all something you might consider?
I think the problem that I guess I have right now, and I'm sure everybody's kind of dealing with this, is that it's a little bit hard as the state reopens to find contractors for doing these things. And I know that the people who are going to be installing the system do not do any sort of painting, so it's required. Yeah.
I believe you have a year to complete this. So,
I guess I'm a bit hesitant to ask someone to do that, to paint them, because isn't that pipe PVC?
yeah, it is.
You're gonna paint it and it's become a maintenance issue, and it most likely will never be in good condition unless you touch it up probably every single year.
I agree with Julia.
I have a
I'm
quick
here.
question.
I'm here with audio only. Sorry, everybody.
Okay,
Lisa,
so what I'm saying is I would not recommend asking the applicant to paint it, because I think it will end up being a maintenance issue and more of an eyesore than anything.
I agree also. I have a question of the applicant. Is this on the side of the house or the rear of the house?
It's on the side of the house. The house is a little peculiar in that it was sort of flipped. So like the front entrance is actually in the back. So the side that you're seeing, it's sort of like is on. It's hard to explain, but it's on the side of the house that goes up the driveway. It's not very visible, and there's like there's like a pine tree that would actually kind of cover it. It was kind of hard to do it in the mock-ups because I would have had to put the tree in front of it, but there's a pine tree that you can see kind of to the right side of the mock-up, and that would actually be in front of it, so it kind of covers it. You can't really see it very well. Definitely not from the street.
Right, no, I understand that. As I'm looking at this picture with your exhaust pipe installed, is the front door to the left and the front elevation to the left?
No, the front door is to the right. You have to go to the right of that tree.
I
and
see.
Behind, yeah.
Okay.
I just have one question. Did the mitigation contractor investigate the possibility of an interior installation for the riser pipe? I hate radon control, but I understand you gotta have it. They always look like this. You can usually tell when a house has been recently sold or remortgaged, because that's the only time it comes up. It's not a building code issue. Sometimes we've been able to, in cases, to install them up through a plaza or chase or something, and the mitigation contractor didn't even look for the possibility. I just wonder if they considered that at all.
No, we did not consider that. I know that it's a little bit more cost prohibitive, so we did not look into that possibility.
It may not even be possible.
No, it might not. I think that's that window with the diagonal grill work right by the pipe. Is that a dining room?
Kitchen.
Kitchen, okay, yeah, no, it wouldn't go up there, that's for sure. Okay.
I mean, basically, when you're looking from the road, you barely can see this.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Okay, if no other comment, I'm looking for a motion one way or the other.
I'll make a motion to accept it.
I second that motion.
Submitted. Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Moving forward, we have a zoning referral, project site review, PR-20-12D, re-subdivision, R20-46D, 501-19 James Street. We have the information in front of us. Kate has it up on the screen. I just want to remind in here is one of comment. It's not a C of A, this is comment.
And could I ask to mute those people who are not wanting to comment at the moment? If you could mute, because we're hearing a lot of echo and stuff. So
Yeah, there's background noise. There's background noise going on with somebody who's in the meeting.
yeah. So if everyone could mute, that would be great. With the exception of Kevin Milligan, are you here? Or is there someone to speak on this, about this proposal?
St. Joe's is here. Christian Day and Keegan Boland.
Okay, great. So if you'd like to give the board a rundown, actually, hold on, let me see. I'm thinking, does this include I'm trying to think if I have, okay, if I have the subdivision first, so this looks like the project site review, and there should be also, that's the local protect, hold on. I'm looking for the subdivision. Here's the subdivision. Should we start with the subdivision and what you're planning on doing there?
We can. Recently, we built a new parking garage caddy corner from this location, which was the home to the existing grounds building. We recently purchased the old brick taxi garage that you can see in that picture right there. What we'd like to do is remove that garage. It's not very safe. And we'd like to take a portion of the back of the church parking lot, re-subdivide this into one parcel. We own the rest of the parcel, and build a new grounds building on that parcel.
Okay.
Good morning. This is Kevin Gilligan. Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. I was here. Nobody could hear me.
I thought I saw you. Yeah.
It's hard to believe, Kevin.
Was that Keegan talking or Chris?
That was Ian Leary.
Okay. Hi, Dan.
Hi, Kevin.
May I explain just the buildings that are on 314 Townsend, 316 Townsend, and 610 Willow? Are those the buildings that would come down?
No, there is one building that would be demolished. That's at 610 East Willow Street,
Okay.
directly behind the church.
Okay, so the 316 and 314 remain.
314, 314 does not belong to the hospital.
Okay.
It's owned by Cafe Cabal people. We own the corner. That's 314. That's going to turn into a like a 316. I'm sorry. That's going to be a rain garden there on the corner.
Okay.
Shrubs, drainage, infiltration basin. The brick building.
There's
you
currently
just saw,
no buildings on any other lot.
No.
That's
You
the
see
only
that brick
building.
building that you're showing right now?
Yes.
That's the one that we want to demolish. You could tell the roof is falling in and it's in pretty rough shape.
So that is 610 East Willow.
That's correct.
Okay. Thank you. I just need to understand.
That's, as you can see on that first drawing, that's directly behind the church. That's the back of the church building, that white one there.
That way, yeah. Sorry, I'm flipping through these at the moment. This is,
Okay.
so this, whoops, here, let me go. I'll go to the top of so here's the garage, and this is the back of the church.
Yes.
The subdivision, at the moment, and just flipping back quickly to the resub. At the moment, hold on here, it's a lot that, well, hold on, let me go back to, hold on. I think it's under here. At the moment, the lot,
Good picture.
this is the lot. This
Correct.
is the lot. And so you're proposing to do a resub that basically draws a line about
Correct.
here, if
Yes.
I'm not mistaken. So,
And that goes up toward Willow Street.
and so the exit, so the church will be on a parcel that will still have parking and access to Townsend.
Yes, the church will have all parking required under the city zoning. It will not be, it's not being regulated for a church because it will never, ever be a church again. It is being used as offices and has been used as offices and meeting rooms for the hospital.
Okay, all right.
And we're maintaining the building as we're required to do.
Okay. And so then we flip then over to, so the subdivision, the good news is it's not going to be landlocked, so that's good. And still have access onto Townsend, and so now you have the new, here, and I'll flip now down to the proposed plan here. Let me see here. Let me get that back up a little. Whoa, sorry guys. Well, there's the, actually that's helpful too, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the stormwater pollution. It talks about the details on the infiltration basin at the corner of Townsend and Willow.
Okay.
Up in the upper left-hand corner.
Yeah, so up here. And let me see if I can, I want to go back to the color. Here we go. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's really the best in terms of seeing what's being proposed.
And this new building will be brick faced in part. Oh, I'm sorry. Forgive me. Technology. I'm gonna get rid of this. This might help. Okay, here we go. All right. So what?
Let's stay with Kate. Let's stay with the aerial view. That's the one that's
That one, yeah.
best.
Okay.
So if I'm going to understand this, 314 Townsend, there is no building there because right now you're showing in this plan cars.
That's right. 314 Townsend does not belong to the hospital.
Right, but it right now, does it have a building on it?
No, it's a vacant parking lot.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
And so could you talk a little bit about the materials for the new building?
Excuse me, before we go there, the building on Townsend, that is not yours, it's a part. But is it going to be part of the new subdivision or is it going to be a separate lot?
That's not part of our application. We don't own it. We don't control it. So that's just sitting there.
Does it have?
So the subdivision line that you're proposing will go from the corner of that Townsend lot going north up James Street, or as it were, and then it'll come behind the parcel and then
Correct.
back towards Townsend.
That's correct.
Okay.
And then you see there's also some space that's being added to the east of the new proposed building. The church parking lot went right up to Willow over there.
Correct.
Question, that parking lot that you don't own, is there a curb cut for that?
I don't know. Chris, do you know?
There is not a curb cut, and he doesn't have it grandfathered in, so he was using our curb cut at the church to access his property.
So he can't use your curb cut technically, because you're getting rid of the curb cut on that street, correct?
No.
No,
Both curb cuts will be in place.
Oh, okay, so you're keeping the Townsend curb cut.
we're basically not doing anything with the church property except moving some of the back of it over to the new grounds building. The church
Right.
isn't being touched, the property, nothing in the front. From the front, everything will look exactly the same as it does today.
Are there any access easements from that vacant parcel on Townsend to the church property?
No, there are not. We looked into that and we spoke to the owner to try to get that lot, and he does not have any easements.
Okay.
Question, one more question. Are you trying to subdivide, so the re-subdivisions will conclude with two properties for this whole site? In other words, this independent, not a parking lot owned by other, and then your church property and the new garage property will be one property or not?
Correct.
Two?
No, there'll be three parcels, Bob. There'll be
Three
the
parcels.
independent lot, the groundskeeping, new building, and then a separate parcel for the church.
Okay, as in the last diagram. Yeah, thank you.
Right.
Basically, you're preserving the church lot.
Okay, let's move on to discussion of materials and any screening.
Well, it's going to be a steel and brick structure. I think we gave you some material sheets, and we also gave you a description of what that will look like in terms of colors and such.
I did have a,
Any
I did have
screening
some,
on the new subdivision property line.
I'm sorry, say that again, Don?
Do you plan any screening between the new parcel and the existing parcel where the old church is? On that,
Yes, going to be, as you see that green going across there? That's a new shrub row. And there's details on the planting plans that were submitted as well. It's basically
Right.
shrubs all across the back of the new building.
Okay. I must have missed that. I couldn't, okay, I see it. All right.
there appears to be some discrepancy between drawing L104 and your colored rendering L001 in terms of that planting buffer between the cars parked at the back of the church.
That's the same layout plan. If they have a planting plan, just keep going. There might be a planting plan that shows it.
Right, there is.
That's what I'm referring to.
Oh, actually, unless,
L105.
yeah.
Yep. Yep.
So there is room for that space between the building and then the planting strip and then the cars.
Yes. And the same individual designed both of those. So it was Vince Petrick from Pell Osborne.
Okay.
So the planting is on which property?
Oh, let's see.
It appears like it's on the church property, but I'm confirming.
Since we own both of those, it doesn't really make any difference.
Okay, but it is coordinated with your L105. Thank you.
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
All right, any other comments?
Yeah, I have some comments on the building since we're in a comment phase of our review. The new garage building, in terms of its design, in other words, metal and brick, there's no problem with using two materials. But what I was a bit concerned about is the way that the elevations really don't look, they look like metal storage buildings, and they don't look like buildings that are contextual to the neighborhood, when the original buildings in the entire north side were either brick or wood or stone. So I was, the comment I would make, especially to your, the bunkhouse or the office portion of this, is that two buildings, each of a different material or would have been appropriate in the historic context. So that maybe one of the buildings was brick color number 1 or metal, and the other building was either brick number 2 or metal. What I'm trying to say is here that the horizontal strip of metal is going to look like an industrial building dropped into the city behind the church. Yes, things can be done with color to make them subdued and kind of be a backdrop to the church, which would complement the church's architectural character. My comment is about the building did not need to be so industrial as a garage. If it were two different buildings of two different materials, that might be more appropriate than especially the base course at the office building. So that's a general comment. I'm concerned there about does the building do anything in its design to either complement or present the church itself as the primary historic feature in the site?
I can't read my copy very well, but I believe it's brick and cement board siding.
No, it's metal, I think.
It's metal.
Where's the metal?
All the gray.
Well, it's going to be, the color will be desert sand, which is pretty close to the color of the existing church building.
Now that's a good choice. That type of reference, it's a historical reference, and that's very appropriate.
Correct. That was the intent.
I do want to remind the board that our jurisdiction here is, as Bob was saying, the contextual impact on the former church. The new lot, the new subdivision is not a designated property in any way, shape, or form.
Can I ask you why the grounds building is as high as it's shown? Is it one story?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
The grounds building is that one story? Why is it so high?
No, it's one story.
What is the deal with all the height?
Well, that's just the difference in the office area where it didn't have to be as high, and in the other area where, you know, obviously there are 5 garage bays there, and that's where we're going to keep our hospital pickup trucks and plows and stuff like that, especially at night, so that they're ready to go when the snow flies.
I understand that, but if they fit through the garage doors, the overhead doors, why is there so much space above it?
I think that was just done to give it some architectural variation.
I would guess that it's an industrial building, and I had the same comment that the building's about twice as high as the garage doors. So everything above the garage door opening, unless you have a use for it, is vacant structure or empty structure above your unit, above your vehicles. I had the same question.
In
Chris,
the
are you
design
still
in that,
on?
yes, in the design in that, we're going to install a loft system in the back so that during the off season, they can store their lawnmowers, weed eaters, et cetera, on that loft. And we also have radiant tube heating that will run along the ceiling of the garage bays to keep the salt trucks from freezing up and therefore having the salt clump up. So there'll be radiant thin tube heating running above that garage bay. So we needed the height to put that mechanical system in place.
Okay, it was just a comment relative to the selection of the industrial building type that meets your needs. It did seem about almost twice as high as it needed to be, but we appreciate your work on that.
Any other comments? You have what you need for a comment? I'm hearing the board is in acceptance of this. Is there any?
Not necessarily. These are comments. Acceptance is a strange.
Not acceptance,
Yeah.
comments, but
Thank
there's no comment against the proposal.
No, just one other clarification, and I don't think we heard it. Could you again go through? Are you using one brick color and one metal color? Is that what you're? Only at the base of the bunkhouse building? I'm sorry, I'm calling it bunkhouse. I shouldn't.
That's where the locker rooms, changing
Yeah.
rooms, offices, and all of that are going to be. That will be the same color brick.
Which brick was it?
It was on that tear sheet that came up on there. I circled the one it was.
Oh, there it is. Sorry, I see the,
Yep.
okay, so it's this one.
Yeah,
And the-
Vintage brick.
Vintage brick.
it's Alexandra Buff, I believe, yeah. Okay, and
The body will be the sand color paneling.
Correct.
So what I'm sorry to, so what I'm hearing though, I did hear the comment that there's some concern about the industrial appearance of this building within the context of the neighborhood. Is that accurate?
I think that was the recommendation, that the building just, and you're correct, this is not part of the church property with the subdivision, but historically in the area, buildings would have been of a single material. And I think the biggest issue is try and complement the neighborhood with a building that's appropriate for the neighborhood, as opposed to, and this may look too heavily as an industrial building. That's all.
Bob, my comment to that is, if you look at the context of the rest of the area, the immediate area, including the new garage,
Sorry about
I
this.
don't know if that's as necessary of a reality. I mean, it's pretty industrial all the way around.
If I could just interject here that across the road, if you look on the screen now, you'll see that there are some residential properties
Right.
just up that way, and then there's actually this house right here, I believe is the old
The mayor's house.
the mayor's house.
Former mayor's house, correct.
Yeah. So there is a bit of a context.
There's a bit of a context, but not a lot.
Is this a metal roof on this building?
Must be.
Has it on the plan?
Yes, it's got metal roof panels.
Yep.
I didn't realize this came out of my office.
Okay, so what's our comment going to be, folks?
Well, I think there's a full list of comments. That's all we can do.
Well, I'll make the comment, I have no problem with the subdivision.
Okay.
Yes, I can't make any comment on the building because it's from Holmes King Colchester, so I'll keep that out.
Okay. Any other comments that anybody wants to add?
I have no problem with the subdivision. I'm concerned about the bulk of this building and industrial appearance.
Okay.
It could be done to reduce the height would be
Okay, anything else? Kate,
No.
do you have that?
I sure do.
Okay. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you for the application. Yep. Good luck.
Okay, moving on, discussion phase. LPS application for 205 East Seneca Turnpike, known as the John Gridley Building.
Yeah, you see before you the draft. Now, I do draft local protected site application. And I'm working with Dale and Ann Tussing, who are the owners of the house, on this. They just sent me yesterday actually some revisions. So there are some revisions to the write-up. And I think there's some things that can certainly be sort of flushed out a little bit more. But I wanted to get your overall reaction, impressions, and
I think I hope I'm speaking for the entire board that we certainly do support a local designation status on the Gridley House. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Yes,
yeah.
Affirmative.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, that's,
I'm sorry, say that again?
the board is in unanimous support of the local designation, so we have to go through the rest of the process, but
If you are satisfied that you have sufficient information to move it forward. By the way, I just love these drawings. Right.
I wanted to pause and enjoy those drawings. I love them every time I look at them. These are absolutely beautiful drawings from the Habs record period of the 30s.
absolutely great. They're absolutely great. Okay, that's great. So we're going to move that forward and go to a public hearing.
Okay, that sounds good.
And then LPS 20-1, 910 Madison Street, Temple Concord. You want to update us on that?
Yes, so, the council did, common council did approve the, designation. However, they did modify the designation to, so that only the sanctuary, portion of the property is, hold on, let me put my face on so you can see me. I'll stop sharing. Here we go. Stop sharing.
Kate, were we sure that what they approved in terms of the sanctuary included the print that we were talking about, that back stairway? Is that included?
They were not specific. So I think that it will actually be up to us to, or rather to the Landmark Preservation Board to, when it comes forward for a C of A, Certificate of Appropriateness, or actually, I think that we can do this before, is just to have it on record what the board considers the sanctuary, which I think everyone, I mean, I think the developers were clear because we had started that conversation with them, what.
It's a good point that Don brings up, and it does need accuracy. And I think during your support, Kate, to the definition, we recommended that the original building of 1910, 1911, the original building plan that we had an accurate drawing for, which included 2 steps to the back of the building, was the foundation plan that was considered the original building. And we wanted to then say that the original assembly hall that was built at the same time, the smaller, or the first size hall, was not part of the designation. That's the clarification.
That's their, and that, I think that would go along with what the Common Council was saying. So only, so basically what will happen now is that when the developer comes forward with their plan, the a C of A, a certificate of appropriateness, will be applied for, because it is the boundaries of it's interesting. So the designation encompasses the entire parcel.
Correct.
But the council has identified only the sanctuary as the contributing piece of that. So when there is a demolition that moves forward for the rear portions, the board will be in the situation, or the job will be to make sure that whatever is being proposed does not negatively impact the sanctuary. And I know that the developer had already started going down this road with the board earlier on, probably late last year, I think, when they presented some of those revised plans. So
On that,
yeah.
can we reach out to the developer and engage in some discussion phases before they put together a C of A? Just so it's clear, so we don't have any issue.
Yep,
So I just think, based on the Common Council action, we should be proactive, reach out to the developer, let them know that we're anxious and open to have further discussions before formal C of A and permits and all of that.
Yep.
Can I ask, when they made that distinction, did they say sanctuary or sanctuary building?
They said sanctuary. So, but I think that there's a general understanding of what the sanctuary is. Yeah.
It finds the upper space where the organ space is. Would be part of it.
That's
what
included.
we're referring to, it really is the temple portion, if you will.
Building.
I'm just making that distinction. So it takes it all the way back to that stained glass.
Oh, yes. Yep.
No, it takes it beyond that stained glass.
Well,
Takes it beyond the wall with the stained glass. There's a shorter portion of that temple building that includes the exterior back stairway that, as Bob was saying, was on the original foundation footprint. So it goes beyond that stained glass, the wall with the stained glass window.
Okay.
The best drawing we have is that original foundation plan, and I think it's advisable for us even to send it in as a redefinition of what the council has done, and not to leave it as a debate down the road, to define
Correct.
that footprint right off the original drawings from the submittals that we have, which we can do.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'd like to recommend that we do that. Kate,
Yeah, and I will talk to council about, or not, well, actually council as in the lawyers, to figure out how best to sort of draw that line, where the line is.
I
So
would just use that particular document.
Yep, I'm sorry.
I don't want it to be left just to words. I'd rather have the best that we can do in terms of definition at this point.
Yep.
Is that foundation?
We can help
All
Kate.
right.
Okay.
Anything else?
No.
If not, I hope everybody goes out and enjoys an absolutely delicious day.
Yeah.
It's going to be fabulous.
Beautiful time of year.
Yeah.
It is.
So everybody healthy and happy, and
Stay that and keep
I
it up.
see Cynthia more than I've ever seen Cynthia on our walks. So, all right, folks, thank you so much. And we'll see you. What's the meeting dates in July and August?
Oh,
How about June?
June, we have 2 meetings, correct?
two meetings, and at the next meeting, there will be the public hearing then for,
Okay.
For the meeting, right?
I'm sorry.
The
June 4th?
meeting in July and August will be the 3rd week.
Let's see, how will I, you know what, I'll get that information out to everybody.
Okay, great.
Thanks.
I don't have it automatically, so I will get that information to you.
Okay,
Okay. Thanks, everyone.
okay, thank you so much. Have a great day.
Stay healthy.
Bye.
Okay, you guys. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.